Another day, another confirmation that Disney keeps going down, down, down into that burning pit of crap. Yep, it's just getting really sad at this point, but I, for one, am enjoying it because I just can't stop laughing at this company flopping so hard. Before I get into this, let's take a look at good old Snow White. You know, that live action Snow White that Rachel Zegler absolutely destroyed because she couldn't stop shooting her mouth off. Yeah. Let's go over the numbers here and take a look at it, right? Its worldwide box office total is $201 million. That's it, people. That's all she wrote. Domestic 86 million, international 115 million. That's it for Snow White, people. That's it. You look at the fall off of it here. Look at how that just created out of nowhere. And when you go down here to its overall performance in all of it, just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. 48 days at the time of this, and this is pretty much out of theaters at this point. So that is it. This is its final tally right there. $201 million. That's all. That is all that this movie brought in. And when you consider the amount of reshoots and the amount of this that they had to change and the CGI, and from what I understand, the real cut and paste and all kind of madness. You understand me? They tried to say the budget was one thing, but we know it was much more. This movie is a colossal flop. Now, speaking of another colossal flop, let's take a look at Captain America Brave New World, aka Falcon Cap. Its worldwide box office total is $414 million. Domestic is 200, international is 214 million, and that's all she wrote for this as well. I said it, this was going to be a flop. I watched the movie, I did my review for it. I'm telling you, it's nonsense. That's what happened. You could tell once I gave it this, they cut and paste. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. The story didn't make any kind of sense. All of that I said. Look at the caterer for this year, just gone. That's it. And when you go down here to it, you understand me? Look at this. This is, tell you about this video, 83 days in theater. So this is done because they already dropped it on streaming. It's going to show up on Disney Plus soon and all of that. That is it. This is done, done, and done. Absolutely finished. So with Captain America Brave New World, 414 million, like I stated previously, there is no way in hell this is going to make it to 500 million. So this is a flop as well, because the box office for this is like, well, I should say the budget for this is actually somewhere over 300 million. Some reports were saying close to 400 million. So this movie needed to do at least 900 or a billion to say it makes some kind of profit. Because I mean, maybe about 8 million to say it could break even now, if even close to that. And it's not even anywhere going to scrape that. That's what this is. So that's it. Two massive flops here. Good old Falcon Cap and Disney Snow White, because Rachel Zegler wouldn't shut her face. That's what's going on. Well, apparently now Disney has come out and admit that, yeah, these two flopped hard. Really, really hard. I read this article here from Cosmic Book News. Rachel Zegler's Snow White and Marvel's Cap for tank. Disney confirms. Well, I confirmed that long before, but let's see what they have to say here. No surprise, but Disney officially confirms that the Rachel Zegler Snow White and Marvel's Captain America Brave New World movies are big fails at the box office. Well, after what I just went over, you could see that Snow White has only brought in 200 million on a budget reported to be north of 270 million. I think it's more than 270 million, but we don't really get the full numbers for this until like maybe a year or two after, when they have to do their financial reports, they get to find there's more than that. But like I always say, the budget, the production budget is one thing, the marketing budget is another. And the marketing budget for this is usually be in the vicinity of like maybe 150 million or more. So you have to add those two things together, because they well market the hell out of this Snow White thing, even though they do the whole press thing and keep people away, all that nonsense. You understand? Right. Ditto for Captain America Brave New World, which has only brought in 400 million and change, with reports the budget is actually around 300 million or more. Like I said, there are reports that the budget is actually close to 400 million, because when it came to Captain America Brave New World, aka Falcon Cap, they basically had to reshoot the whole damn movie. So that was going to cost more money. Disney released its quarterly earnings report on Wednesday. In its entertainment section, Disney admitted that both Snow White, which stars the controversial Rachel Zegler, who decided that, being a social media influence celebrity is actually really good for her career. See how that works out. And Captain America Brave New World, which replaces Cap with Anthony Mackie, flop. Yes, Anthony Mackie, who decided to go right before the movie came and tell people, Captain America shouldn't represent America. That's always how you promote your movie. It's literally in the name, but no, he shouldn't stand for America. Yeah. Maybe they should have given him a script. That might have helped. This is what they had to say in the report here. Theatrical distribution results were comparable to the prior year quarter, as the carryover performance of first quarter releases Mufasa, The Lion King, and Moana 2 was largely offset by the result of second quarter releases. Snow White and Captain America Brave New World, including the cost of their initial marketing campaigns. There were no significant titles released the prior year quarter. Okay, so that's what they had to say here, but don't worry, they explain exactly what that means, right? What the report from Disney says is that overall theatrical results were comparable to the same quarter last year, not better. And keep in mind, their theatrical results from last year wasn't good either. So it didn't get any better at all. If anything, it probably got worse. Despite releasing two major titles this quarter, Snow White and Captain America Brave New World, the report reveals that the box office performance for earlier hits like Mufasa, The Lion King, and Moana 2 helped, but those gains were largely offset by the results of Snow White and Captain America Brave New World. Now, what that basically means is that Mufasa, The Lion King made some money, and Moana 2 also made some money, but it was not enough to really push the needle forward. You see, as I said before, and I'll say again, Disney is a business. They don't release movies just to do kind of good or to break even. They need them to be massive successes so that they could bring in money to keep the engine of that company moving. When that does not happen, what ends up happening instead is that you end up with a lot of problems, and people start to wonder, well, what in the name of God is going on? But like I've stated again, Disney is determined to die on this woke hill. They know doing this nonsense loses them money, but the idiots they have hired, because they literally let the vampires in, and now they are bleeding the company dry. So when you keep putting out nonsense, say that, oh, we have a Snow White out here who is so who's so diverse and all kind of thing, and she decides to go out there and shoot her mouth off with no restraint, and you figured for some reason that was going to work. I don't know. There is no modern audience you keep talking about, because these people never show up. You understand? And then you had Captain America Brave New World, which a movie made that made absolutely no sense. It was basically a follow-up of Incredible Hulk, and I'm not even sure why it didn't. It is a mismatch of other movie, because you don't know what the hell to do. That's what it boils down to. Offset means that the financial gains from earlier movies, Mufasa and Moana 2, were effectively cancelled out or reduced by the weaker performance and high cost of Snow White and Captain America Brave New World. Exactly, because the amount of money that they had to spend on Snow White and Captain America Brave New World and they did not get a return means that whatever profits Mufasa and Moana brought in were basically effectively cancelled out or reduced. Because like I said, Snow White, a lot of money, but even that they said the budget is something like that. Nobody was going to be higher than that because they changed significant parts of that movie. Not to mention Captain America, Brave New World, they ended up having to shoot an entirely different movie from what they originally wanted to do. So, yeah. So even though Disney made money from the earlier films, the disappointing box office and marketing expenses of Snow White and Cap 4 neutralized those profits, resulting in overall theatrical results that were just comparable to the previous year, which had no major releases. Disney specifically mentions the cost of their initial marketing campaigns, suggesting those costs were not recovered by strong ticket sales of Snow White and Captain America Brave New World. Yeah, because, like I said, Rachel Zegler tanked her movie. Disney tanked that movie. And people, and once again, they learn a harsh lesson that the fans are the ones with the power. So basically, people say, you know what, I'm not spending my money on that crap. I am not going anywhere. And you have Captain America Brave New World. Once word of mouth caught on, that movie wasn't good at all. People were just like, I'm not interested. Plus, there's burnout for the MCU at this point because they just keep putting out nonsense. So it's going to happen. Again, the report also notes that the previous year had no significant releases. So even with two big budget films this year, meaning Snow White and Captain America, Disney didn't outperform that low baseline. Like I said, their previous earnings for the previous year was already bad. And now it hasn't gotten any better. If anything, it's gotten worse. Disney is indirectly admitting Snow White and Cap 4 flopped relative to expectations, especially considering their marketing spend. So yeah, it is that what's going on. It is a flop. Like I say here, you look at the numbers. Worldwide, Snow White only made $201 million. Worldwide, that's it. Understand me? I don't even know. I don't know if this is in cinemas anymore, but I doubt it. I doubt it. So that's the end of its entire theatrical run right there. This is what happens when you tank your show because you won't stop your crap. You look at Captain America Brave New World. There's no way thing is ever going to make it to 500 million. That is not good. And people could come out and say all they want about, oh, it outperformed this, outperformed that, outperformed you. There. No, it is a flop. That's what it is. It is a flop. So Captain America Brave New World flopped. Disney Snow White flopped. Both of them floppity flop, flopped. That's what happened. Disney continues to do this to themselves and then act like everybody's supposed to be shocked by it. I, for one, I'm just sitting here and thinking to myself, it's damn good. This is what happens when you want to chase DEI over common sense and making things that your fans will enjoy. It's just another nail in the coffin of Disney because, like I said before, and I'll say again, Disney is determined to die on that woke hill. And then fix up. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.